Good morning, my good friend. This is Dr. Turi, and today is April 4th. The first thing I want to do is to talk about that star behind my head. People are so into conspiracy. It's ridiculous. They think everything that they have heard, read, watched from a talking head is poisoning their minds and to fear everything. All right, now, that star behind me, I found it as I was taking my trash outside. I found this star and I am an astrologer, a forensic astrologer to be more precise. I thought maybe a good idea to have it in my office, because being a forensic astrologer means you deal with astrology, and dealing with astrology means you deal with the stars, right? So do not get wild with all this conspiratorial stuff that gets your head to spin and let your fear dictated by the reptilians to support their agenda. All right, so now we're moving on with that. I want to talk a little bit more about the video that took place yesterday that was messed up. I apologize. I'm going to leave it up. You have an article which is related to the video, so I'm sure many of you have read it. But there is a few things I want to say about this video. Is that you got people like, again, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to offend anybody. But when you have people that said Sandy Hook was staged, it's a disgrace. Believe me, those tears were very real. The pain was very real, and those children are dead. Now, when you have those conspiracy head, totally religious or reptilian infected for that matter, telling you otherwise, don't buy it. Please don't buy it. Okay? They will go to great extent to lie. All they want is to maintain their position in their high tower built on lying, deception, and the money pouring in their bank account. They don't give a damn about your mind, how you feel. They are greedy and egocentric. They're not concerned about you or the truth. You want the truth? You got it. That's why you're with me. And again, it is not an accident, because there are no accidents. Now, remember, Adam Lanza, who actually has killed so many innocent people and all these children, including this crazy lunatic who also destroyed so many lives in Las Vegas. Just remember, once upon a time, they were little children, beautiful little children, loving. They did not know anything about, the ugliness of life. They were innocent children like you were. How come they turn into such evil souls? It's not good to blame them. Blame your system. Blame the US education system. Blame the church. Blame the scientific community, which are not offering people like those killers the opportunity to understand God cosmic design, understand their UCI or their unique celestial identity, and apply their will to control those stars. And those stars are manipulated by the reptilians, who turn them into killing machines. It is so very simple. In fact, it's so damn simple that it amazes me that in 2019, people are still scratching their big educated head, wondering what's going on with the human mind. Your mind, again, I repeat myself, to those who don't take the time to read or watch previous videos. Repetition is a must if you want to build cosmic consciousness. Your mind is nothing else than the fleshy computers stuck into a body case to protect it, reacting to an outside stimuli produced by the universal mind. Nothing starts or finishes in your mind. And again, there is no difference between your mind, my mind, Hitler's mind, Einstein's mind, Beethoven's mind. Same weight, same density, same wiring. The only thing that's different is the UCI, is that inherited karmic programs that you have picked before you reincarnate on this dense physical world to do your homework, to learn to create, to learn to build, not only for yourself in this lifetime, but for future generations. Today I wrote a newsletter which is associated, like I always do, with that video. It's called Joe Biden's Sexual UCI Exposed to the World. I wrote a newsletter again today, kind of rephrasing everything I'm talking about. But when you have people like near disgrace, as I call him, which was also caught in 2 sexual misconduct allegations that prompted an investigation, you realize that if you voted the 2019 Nostradamus Personal and Universal Dragon Forecast, that everything has been predicted. The tail of the dragon in Capricorn wants every big guy, every big corporation, every big names out there to get trashed underground. Pretty much like the celebrities and CEOs that were caught in the college administration scandals. It is all predicted. I didn't know about all this when I first wrote this. Why? I just wonder why some of you are not curious enough to spend $10 to find out how those long-lasting planets, including the dragons, going to affect, either bless or curse your life. Remember, knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. By not knowing, you're putting yourself subject to become part of the statistics, or worse, getting infected by the reptilians. I know, it is such a mind-boggling, far-fetched information that it's understandable. 99.09.5% of the people walking this earth will not understand, relate, or believe what I'm saying. But you know what? My work is not exactly for today's adults, because, it's like, there are 2 conditions, either by religion or science. But children, oh, that's my focus. Children are like a tree, You can't mold them, for good or for worse. I mean, Hitler's children, you know what he did with the children. But you can mold those children. They're going to grow out of the grass, out of the dirt and the darkness, straight into the light. And they're going to understand what it means to be human, understand God, universal design, and the part they play. And so, Adam, Lanza, and all the criminals of the past, all the future, again, once upon a time were children. Nobody was there to teach them to apply the part of God in their soul, which is so much stronger. And then fight that negative energy. Adam Lanza was extraordinarily emotional. And again, it responded to the moon impulse. The moon is not, don't believe such a ridiculousness. And people don't turn into lizards. Please use critical thinking. Wake up to reality. Don't let your fear or stupidity override your intelligence. Be curious. Now, as far as the Joe Biden is concerned, I'm going to pretty much do like I do with many of my clients when they order a live Skype reading. I always strongly recommend them to record the session. I'm not going to be doing the full UCI of Joe Biden, but I'm going to introduce you to what he really is. All right, so this is a print of his UCI. This is pretty much a snapshot of the stars as they were located when he reincarnated on this dense physical world. And remember, this is a unique chart. It's a software that I designed and arranged, so to speak, that allows me to understand those stars. So look at a chart that could be yours, but that is the one of Joe Biden. We're going to start by Scorpio now. When I put my finger here, look, okay? he has a stellium in the sign of Scorpio. A stellium means many, many planets in one sign, okay? And he has Mars. Mars is the drive principle. He has Mars on himself, so he's very driven. Remember, Mars rules aggressivity, the animal kingdom, and their weaponry, and how they teach them, how they treat themselves, fangs and claws. It depicted the animal instinct of human and what they fight. Without Mars, there would be no war. There would be no Germany. There would be no white supremacists. There would be no way for a man to show his masculinity to a female, or for a female to respond to the man masculinity, depending on her own chart, as it is located in UCI. He's got Mercury in Scorpio. Mercury rules the mind, the critical thinking. Scorpio is the investigator. Okay, Scorpio rules anything and everything that dwells with life and death, the police force, the criminal element, the power, supreme wealth. It rules life and death. It rules Russia. That's why Russia died and was born again. Scorpio rules also sex. Okay, now I emphasize the word sex because that's what this sign does. Scorpio is the stinger, the past, negativity, jealousy, resentment, sex. And then the soul has to kill the scorpion and build the ego and become above his sexual desire, his sexual drive that create rapists and abuser. And the power of Scorpio is so strong that Joe Biden cannot even control himself. He has to touch. But there is reason for that. We'll discuss this in a second. The Sun in Scorpio, we understand he has to learn and rebirth. Venus is also in Scorpio, is in his first house. So he has that magnetic power over women. Remember, Scorpio is ultimate power, ultimate wealth. Scorpio is the worm in the water that transforms into a butterfly and goes from one element to the other one. Very, very powerful sign, but also a sign that is literally controlled by the reptilians more than any other sign, because the reptilians' closest base is on Pluto. All right. And Pluto is recognized as the lord of hell, the lord of the underworld. And they are so sexy and so much into sex, they regenerate in sex. They cannot do anything but regenerate. Wherever you have Scorpio or Pluto in your chart, you have to do what Pluto wants you to do, or you don't regenerate and you die. Very, very interesting. Forensic astrology should be taught in every college, university, and the FBI, who visited me twice. 4 kids, they were barely 40 years old. 4 kids came to visit me, and I tried to explain to them the power and the value of forensic astrology so they can investigate people outside of their 5 limited rational human senses. But it was a waste of time. Now let's look at a critical area. Why does Biden like to touch? Well, look, the emotional response to life is in the sign of Taurus. Taurus rules massage. Taurus rules the earth. Taurus rules the sense of touch. And it is right on the 7th house. The 7th house is the public. 7th house rules partners, contracts, the public. With the moon in Taurus, he has a natural drive to touch. Anybody that is involved in natural healing, that use the hand, have a strong Gemini, and most of all, if they are into massage, using the hand, pottery, or the earth and geologists, they have that Taurus earthy moon that makes them rational, logical. The moon in Taurus means also an opportunity for the soul to establish financial security, because the moon is dignified in Taurus. It's the best position for the moon because it's solid. And Taurus represents Maryland's corporation or the banking industry, and that's why in the financial department of New York you have the huge bull. Okay, what the ancients were trying to tell you when they carved the bulls is, look at the strength, look at my walls, look at the size, look at the powerful element that we are. Okay, so you can trust me with money. Sorry about that. All right, now we understand the sense of touch with the emotional response to the moon. And again, I repeat myself, the moon is not hollow, and there is no ET working inside of the moon. Use critical thinking, okay? Do not believe what you listen all the time out there, okay? Aim for the truth, ask for the truth, and you're going to attract the truth, okay? Because a magnet will attract a piece of wood. And for you to be here today, again, is not an accident. You have asked for the truth. That's why the universe or God led you to me. And that's just the beginning of a wonderful voyage, the cosmic voyage that you can take with me and bring other people. Because the more people know about this, the more we will become one. And we will not judge people and understand why gay are gay, why they behave this way. Either because of their stars, which were manipulated by the reptilians. You have to remember, gay person does not all of a sudden become gay. Okay, it was set to experience what it means to be gay, because in a previous life, maybe this person were very much against gay. So now, you have to experience it. It's like me. I mean, how can I teach you anything about cancer if I never suffer the emotional and physical pain of what it means to contract cancer? Use common sense. All right. One of the most important parts, I'd say the critical part of this chart is this. The tail of the dragon in the 5th house in the sign of Pisces. The 5th house is the house of love, romance, creativity, and children. Okay, Joe Biden has the tail of the dragon in this 5th house. The 5th house is also the seat of attraction between human beings, which makes him repellent. The tail is there, not the head. I have the head of the dragon in the 5th house. Okay, that's why I'm beautiful. That's why I magnetize ladies, especially spiritual ladies, and I guide them and I make them grow. Understand, wherever the head or the tail of the dragon is, you're going to have a blessing and you're going to have a curse. So I wrote a book, 550 pages on the power of the dragon. You want to know about your dragon or the dragon of other people? Get the book. Remember, if you read, you're going to be well ahead of a lot of people who even have the curiosity or the strength to read. Imagine if they have to do what I do every day, write every day to teach you for free, okay? And at the same time, produce a little video like this one. Now, understand, I repeat myself, that is the most critical part of our president. I mean, of our vice president. His tail is in the 5th house in the sign of Pisces, which is very deceiving. Now, the head is in Virgo. See the head? That is his wishes. The wishes on the 11th house. The 11th house is the wishes and friends, social life. His wishes are for a virginal, a Virgo. Virgo is purity. Virgo is children. Virgo is anything and everything that is natural and puritanical. And thus indicate why it is so much at the subconscious level, not aware of it, but attracted to children because it's part of his inner wishes. You know what? It's just amazing when I see the power of forensic astrology, and when I see that I wasted my time taking so much chances by bringing the FBI in my house, by giving very specific dates for terrorist attacks. When I keep proving to you through my earthquake prediction that I know what I'm talking about, it's so crucial that you help me. It's so crucial. Don't do it for yourself. Do it for the children of tomorrow. Because, it's okay to teach them algebra, geography, English, history, the art. But who is there, for God's sake? Who is there to teach them who they are? The magical, divine part they have to play on earth. Who is there to teach them who God is outside of the codification of thought, the deceptive religious matrix, or the rational, down-to-earth, infantile scientific community that has so much money, so much power, so much to west to go, visit Mars when you have no business there, when Mother Earth, your only ship, your only UFOs, is keeping you alive today? Don't you think the time, the money, and the effort should go to me so I can reach more people, especially the children, because the children can be moved into understanding who they are and understanding other people outside of themselves. Remember, you can only judge people because of your education, your intelligence, your experience, and most of all, your UCI. Your unique celestial identity will make you who you are, with all your vices and all your virtues. And then you only know your world. So once you get educated in God, cosmic divinity, instead of having millions of religion that put you in the box, now you have a universal understanding. This is why divine astrology is the religion of the future, because it does not separate. Religion puts you in a box. And it doesn't matter if you're a Jew, if you're a Christian, if you're Muslims, you have a star, a set of stars above your head. You see? And those stars are God's magnificent power. And He has enslaved every one of you, not me or my student, every one of you, to uncover the secret. And once that is done, there can only be love, light, understanding, respect, and peace on this blue planet. And that's exactly what the reptilians do not want you to do. That's why they messed up my video yesterday. That's why they do everything they can to shut me down, to stop me. And you have to help me so we can grow into that new cosmic consciousness, that incredible divine energy that predisposes humanity to create this reality, because the future is nothing else than the reincarnations of your thoughts. My guys, yeah, I see so many of you as little kids out there. Wow, I should, I'm 69. Yeah. This is amazing. To me, it is all amazing that I own the key to help the world. Yet, the reptilians promote, support, and endorse all the people who only have greed and lie and idiocy to give you. It's time to change course. It's time to recognize and use your own critical thinking that there are people who can really do magical work for the world, and those people, and I'm one of those, needs your help. Be a part of the solution. Help me. Help me for the sake of the future, for the sake of the children of the future. Because ultimately, the age of Aquarius is making all of us this promise. And I'm just one of the leaders of the new age, put it this way. All right, my good friend, thank you very much for listening to me today. Do your part, I just did mine. And remember, whatever you do today is bringing good karma to you tomorrow. Goodbye.